Just when you think you're done for the night, another whole list of items get data mined, which you know I'm definitely going to talk about. So I want to throw it out there like I have on any of these data mined related videos, where just because they've been found don't 100% mean they're going to be in the game. Although these ones, I'd be 99% sure they're going to be in the game. We just don't know how we're going to get them yet. So as part of the Blood Moon PvP event, which is in Strangleform Val, which kicks off every 3 hours, there's going to be some really powerful items you can get for each class. It looks like you're only going to be able to use one of these items at a time, because if you look, it says Unique Equipped Blood Moon 1. This means you can only have one equipped. So let's fly through them and have a look at what we've got. So for the druids, you're going to have an offhand, which increases damage done by arcane spells and nature spells by 16. Now, we've looked at some of the items that are coming from Gnomeregan, and that's good, don't get me wrong, but there are ones that are pretty close. But the Bloodbark Crusher is absolutely amazing, and it looks like Earth Warden, and I'm pretty sure that's probably the route they've gone down. But it increases armor, strength, agility, stamina. It gives you 80 attack power in forms, and then it's got a usability on a 3-minute cooldown, which adds 5 Storm Strike damage to your melee attacks, damaging the target and its nearest allies, affecting up to 3 targets. And this also causes additional threat, and it lasts 20 seconds. So I think it's needless to say this is going to be probably BIS tanking, especially for AoE tanking, because while automatic crowd pummeler is going to be amazing, don't get me wrong, because you use the haste benefit, you're going to be hitting faster, getting more rage, doing more threat. This is AoE threat, and the damage specifically causes additional threat as well, so that is awesome. There's also a trinket with an on-use effect, so it instantly heals the target ally for 300, that sacrifices 300 of your own health in return. No thanks. Helping other people. For the hunters, there's Bloodlash Bow, which is really strange because it says chance on hit increases strength by 50 for 15 seconds. Wowhead have actually said on here exactly what I was thinking, is that that's most likely going to change to agility, because it would be very strange for that to stay as strength. There's also a trinket which increases your pet's critical strike chance by 1%, and while equipped, your pet's critical hits cause you to become energized, granting you 5 mana. There's a 16 slot quiver, which this doesn't have the Blood Moon 1 restriction to it, so you're likely just going to be able to get this and use it, obviously. And then the same for an ammo pouch, and both of these increase your attack speed by 14%. Oh, and there's 16 slots. Mages is pretty simple. You got stamina and intellect on all of the rings, which is 9 stamina and 6 intellect, and each one of them either gives you 16 arcane damage, 16 fire damage, or 16 frost damage. Pretty boring, but still a massive, massive ring. And on the basis, there's another epic ring that you're going to be able to get in Gnomeregan. Pretty cool. Paladins have either got a holy spell power weapon, which is a one-handed, which increases damage done by holy spells and effects by 14, so this is not healing. They've got a two-handed sword, which increases holy spell damage by up to 24. A trinket where you unleash a delayed explosion of blood and light, causing 150 twilight damage to all targets within 10 yards. This is on a 5-minute cooldown. And finally, Bloodlight Offering, which does the same as the one for the Druid, where you heal someone for 300, but sacrifice 300 of your own health. What I've noticed when we've looked at the new runes and everything as well that are coming out, which I have a feeling that video is going to come out probably after this one, because I'm going to edit the ones that are going to take the least amount of time first, and the rune one is massive. But they're leaning really heavy into holy spell damage, as in for Holy Shock and Exorcism, and the runes are resetting cooldowns on Holy Shock and making them free casts, and so they've got plans. The priest gets the same trinket, but it does a shield instead of a heal, so it will shield the target for 300 but sacrifice 300 of your own health. And then they've got either a shadow damage and mana per 5 ring or a healing ring. Again, bit like the mage, a little bit boring, but still not bad. The rogues have got a 1.9 speed dagger, which is Blood Harvest Blade, a 2 speed offhand dagger with stamina on, and a really fast offhand fist weapon. Now, on the basis there is actually a fist weapon that comes from Gnomeregan, a main-hand fist weapon with a really good proc on it, and there's items with fist weapon skill on now in phase 2 as well. Could mean using fist weapons might be the way to go. Shamans have got a shield, which is damage and healing by 14, as well as stamina and intellect. A nice big beefy two-handed weapon with strength, stamina and intellect, and also knocks the target silly for 2 seconds. That'd be lovely for PvP as a two-handed enhancement shaman. They have a trinket, which is Ancestral Bloodstorm Beacon, which unleashes a delayed explosion of blood and nature, causing 150 plague damage to all targets within 10 yards. This is on a 5-minute cooldown. And then finally, they get the same as the other healers, where they can instantly heal a target for 300 but sacrifice 300 of their own health. The Warlocks, again, a little bit boring because they've either got a fire damage ring with 8 stamina and 8 intellect, a shadow damage ring with 8 stamina and 8 intellect, or a really cool trinket where your pet gains 20 stamina and 80 intellect, and when you use it, it unleashes a delayed explosion of blood and fire, causing 150 shadow flame damage to all targets within 10 yards. They've leaned in heavy on the old AoE damage trinket. And then finally for the warriors, they've got a slow one-handed mace, which we actually saw in the look into phase 2 video that Blizzard put out. This has got strength and agility on with 2.3 speed, a nice big slow two-handed weapon with 1% crit, or a nice main hand weapon with an AoE damage proc. So the usability on it unleashes a flurry of steel and blood, wounding all enemy targets within 8 yards, dealing 65 shadow strike damage and causing them to bleed for an additional 5 damage every 2 seconds for 30 seconds, and this is on a 3-minute cooldown. I mean, some of these items look mental, particularly the weapons. Now we've just got to wait till phase 2, find out how we get them. Obviously we're going to get them in the STV PvP event, but if you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you probably in about 5 minutes when I start the next video. See you later.